Hello students, in this video we will be solving the class 10 paper of St. Anthony's High School which came for the first midterm November-December 2020 for 20 marks. First question is select and write the most appropriate alternative from those provided in the brackets. For 1 mark, question 1a, it says if x equal to 3 and y equal to 1 is the solution of the equation and kx plus y equal to 7 and 4x plus ky equal to 14 are the equations, then the value of k is dash, and choices are given. There are 4 choices, a, b, c and d, with some values. We need to pick one value by solving for the equations and write down the answer. So we have x equal to 3, y equal to 1 given. These are the solutions of the equations. If we put this value in any one equation, we should get the value of k. So what we'll do is, we'll take the first equation, kx plus y, because it looks simple, and in place of x and y I'll substitute this value. Okay, let us substitute this value. So in place of x we put 3 and in place of y we put 1 equal to 7. Take 1 on the other side, this will become 3k. 1 on the other side, it will become 7 minus 1, so that will be 6. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, k is equal to 2. If you choose to do solve for this equation, then the answer should be the same. We'll see. For x plus ky equal to 14. In place of x we put 3. In place of y we put 1. 14 will remain the same. So this will be 12 plus k equal to 14. Take k 12 on the other side. It will be k equal to 14 minus 12, which is equal to 2. So same answer. Okay, so our correct choice is B. We'll put over here 2. This is for 1 mark. Question 1b has got 2 parts or 2 problems. First one is, write down the condition for which the following pair of linear equations will have no solution and find the value of k. These are the 2 equations given. Let us first write down the equations. So based on the general form of linear equations, we will just write down what is a1, a2, what is b1, b2 and what is c1, c2. Okay. So if we convert this into our linear form, it should be this way: kx minus 7y minus 4 equal to 0, and this will be 8x plus 4y minus 9 equal to 0. Comparing this, comparing with general form, okay, ax plus by plus c equal to 0, we get a1 equal to k, b1 equal to minus 7 and c1 equal to minus 4. Then we have a2 equal to 8, b2 equal to 4, c2 equal to minus 9. Now the condition for no solution. Condition for no solution is a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 is not equal to c1 upon c2. If we substitute these values, we should get, we'll substitute these values, we get ak upon 8 equal to minus 7 upon 4 equal to minus 4 upon minus 9. Sorry, this is not equal. So for to find the value of k, we'll use this part. Therefore you can say k upon 8 is equal to minus 7 upon 4. 4 1s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 2 will go and multiply with 7, we get k equal to minus 14. So this is the value, okay, that we get k equal to 14. So you can say therefore for k k equal to minus 14, the above the given, you can say, given equations will have no solution. That's for 2 marks. Moving to the next question. The question 1b, second problem, is find the sum of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial 5x square minus 6x minus 12. For this we have a formula to find the sum of the zero. There is alpha plus beta equal to minus b upon a. It's for 1 mark. So in general form this is a is equal to 5, b is equal to minus 6 and c is equal to minus 12. So since we are asked just for the sum of the zeros, this is what it would be: minus b, minus of minus b, sorry, not 6x, just 6 upon a is 5. Minus minus, minus into minus is plus, so we get, so the sum of the zeros is 6 upon 5. That is the answer for 1 mark. Question 1c says find the solution of any one of the following pair of linear equations, and this question is for 3 marks. However, we will be solving both of them. Let's begin with the first one, that is by elimination method. So 1, 7x minus 50y, and I'll rearrange this. I'll put the minus side on the other side, so that will become positive 8. And I'll do the same with this one, that is 11x minus 6y equal to minus 60. So 60, when it goes on the other side of the equal to sign, it turns out to be negative. Now, since this is elimination method, we have to look to eliminate one variable. Either it can be x variable that we can eliminate or the y variable. So in this case, I will look to eliminate the y variable. So to do that, I will multiply it with opposites of 50 and 6. So this one I will multiply with 6 and this will be with 50. 6 sevens are 42x minus 6 into 50 gives us 300y. 6 into 8 will be 48. Next, I will mark this as 1 and this as 2. 50 into 11 will give 550x minus 50 into 6 will give minus 300y equal to 50 into 60 will give 50 into 6 is 300, so that will give us 3000. Okay, and that will be negative 3000. Now what we'll do is we'll change the sign throughout. So what is positive will become negative, negative will become positive. This cancels out, and now 550 minus 42 will give us negative 502. Yes, 500 and sorry, not 502, 508x, and this will be 3000, and 3000. This is positive and added to 48, so that will give us 3048. Okay. Now 508 has to be divided with 3048, so we'll have x equal to negative 3048 upon 508. So I have a feeling this might go with 6 times table. So 508 into 6, 6 8s are 48. Carry 4, that will come down, 6 5s are 30. Yeah, it does go. So 508 1 6. So x equal to minus 6. Now the next job is to substitute x equal to minus 6 in either equation 1 or 2. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll substitute it in equation 1. Substitute x equal to minus 6 in equation 1. Let's see what we get. 7 into minus 6 minus 50y equal to 8. 7 6 are 42, minus 42 minus 50y equal to 8. I'll take 52 on the other side. It will become positive. So minus 50y equal to 4. Minus 42 when it goes on the other side of the equal to side become positive 42. Positive 42 plus 8 will give us positive 50. 50 and 50 cancel, we get y equal to negative 1. So therefore you can take, therefore x is equal to minus 6 and y is equal to minus 1. That is the answer to the first problem. You can solve any one of them. I am going to solve both of them. First one is by elimination method. So this is our answer that we get using the elimination method for the first problem. Now let's move to the next problem, which we need to solve using substitution method. This next problem is 5y minus 4x equal to 29. In this case, what I'll do is, when I start, I'll just start by rearranging x and y, okay, because x is negative, they have given this way, but I'll rearrange it. So second problem, minus 4x plus 5y equal to 29, and this would be positive 5x plus 4y equal to 15. All I have done is brought the x first, y next, okay, and x is positive in this case, negative in this case, and positive in this case. So this is what I have written over here. Now this is not by elimination method but by substitution method. So we can choose to substitute for anyone. We'll mark this as 1 and 2. I'll go with the equation 2. So what we'll do is we'll take equation 2. Using equation 2, I will say, so that is 5x plus 4y equal to 15. Okay, what I'll do is keep 5x here, take 4y on the other side, that will become negative 15 minus 4y, that will be x equal to 15 minus 4y upon 5 when we substitute it. So this is our equation 3. Our next job is to substitute equation 3 in equation 1, because this we have derived from equation 2, we can't put it back into that. So we put, say, substitute 3 in 1. So what we will get? Let's see. So equation 1 is here. So minus 4, in place of x we put this whole value, that is 15 minus 4y upon 5 plus 5y equal to 29. Now let's see, let's put this value inside. So we get 4 into 15, we get minus 60, minus 4 into minus 4y will give us positive 16y, whole thing upon 5 plus 5y equal to 29. Next we will take out the LCM for this. We will get 60y minus 60 plus 16y plus 25y, whole thing upon 5 equal to 29. Okay. Next 5 I will multiply with 29. When I take it on the other side, division become multiplication, and we will solve for this also. We get minus 60 will remain the way it is. 16y plus 25y gives us plus 41y. 29 into 5, let's see what we get. 29 into 5, 5 9s are 45, 5 2s are 10, 14, 145. Now I will take 60 on the other side, it will become positive. This is, sorry, 41y. So we get 41y equal to 145 plus 60. That gives us 205. Okay, and this will divide, see, 41 into 5, 5 ones are 5, 5 4s are 20. Okay, so 41 5s are gives us 205. So y is equal to 5. We can mark this as 4, and now we can look to substitute it in place. Put 4, whatever we got in 4 in 1 to get the value of x. We'll do that here. Mark this here. Substitute equation 4 in equation 3, which is this one. So x equal to 15 minus 4 y. In place of y we put the value of y, which is 5. Whole thing upon 5. So 15, 4 into 5 is 20. So that is 15 minus 20 upon 5. That gives us negative 5 upon 5. 5 cancels, we get negative 1. So value of x is equal to 1. So therefore you can say x equal to minus 1 and y equal to positive 5. That is the answer for the substitution method, the second pair of linear equation. Okay, this is once again for 3 marks. You can it's a good if you've got time, I suggest you solve both of them for the exam. Otherwise any one is good enough. If you're confident with the elimination method, you can do elimination method. If you're confident with substitution method, you can opt for substitution method. Okay. With this we finish question 1C. Question 1D is for 3 marks, and it says find the solution of the following pair of linear equations graphically. Equations given are 2x minus y equal to 3 and 2x plus 5y equal to 9. We have to rewrite and complete the following tables, and we need to plot at least 3 points for each line. The tables are given below. We need to fill them up. So first we'll fill up the tables and then we'll go to plot the graph. Okay. So in the first case we need to take certain values. So let us take a few values. Let's say in the first case we'll take 0, then probably take 1, and we'll take minus 1, and let's see what we get. So taking x equal to 0, so for x equal to 0, let's see what we get. 2 into 0 minus y equal to 3, and we get 0 minus y equal to 3. So that means y is equal to negative 3. This will be negative 3. X equal to 1, let's see what we get. 2 into 1 minus y equal to 3. That will be 2 minus y equal to 3. Take 2 on the other side, it becomes negative. 3 minus 2 gives us positive 1. So y is equal to negative 1. Next we have x equal to negative 1. So 2 into negative 1 minus y equal to 3. So negative, we get negative 2 here, negative y equal to 3. Negative 2 when I take on the other side, it becomes positive. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So we get y equal to negative 5. Okay. Negative 5. So we say all the y values that we have got are negative. The next equation, we need to fill up this table as well. So 2x plus 5y equal to 9. Now from the way I look at it, if we do it the way we have done this one, that is we take the value of x first, we assume the value of x and try to get y. If we try to do that, it will be difficult, because if you notice over here, this is 2 over here, there is 5 over here, there is 9. We have to substitute in such a way, if we take values of x, that we get multiples of 5 at this side end. So that can be a little bit difficult. So from way I see it, let us try to take the values of y first, and that might make it easier for us. So I'll take y equal to 1. Let's see what we get. Okay, so y equal to 1, 2x plus 5, in place of y we put 1, equal to 9. So that will leave us with 2x plus 5 equal to 9. 5 I take on the other side, it becomes 9 minus 5, which is equal to 4, and that we can substitute. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, x we get equal to 2. So this becomes 2. Next I'll try to take y equal to negative 1. Let's see what we get. Negative 1. Okay, 2x plus 5 minus 1 equal to 9. 2x minus 5 equal to 9. 5 when I take on the other side, it will become positive. So 9 plus 5 gives us 14. 2x equal to 14. 2 on the 2, 2 7s are 14. That means x is equal to 7. So when y is equal to negative 1, we get x equal to 7. Next I'll try to take y equal to positive 3. Let's see what we get over here. 2x plus, instead of y we put positive 3, equal to 9. 2x plus 15 equal to 9. 15 I take on the other side, it will be 2x equal to 9 minus 15, that would be equal to negative 6. 2 1 is 2, 2 3 is 6, we get x equal to negative 3. Okay, so this is negative 3 and y is positive 3. Okay, so these are the points. We can get many other points like this. Now doesn't matter which points you take, as long as you can fit it in the graph paper. Don't take very high very points which are more than 10, unless you really have to do with that. Okay, so much so you have to also keep an eye on the graph that you would be drawing and the points you would be taking. Okay, so over here we opted to first assume the value of y to find x. If we do the same thing now, let's say we don't know y and we take these values, we should get the values of y over here. Okay, now the next step is to plot these points on a graph. Okay, so that, and we should get the graph in such a way that they crisscross each other at one particular point, and that point should give us the value of x and y. That's how we solve such equations graphically. So let's go to the graph paper. Okay, coming to the graph paper, let's plot the points. First is for 2x minus y equal to 3. So when x is 0, which is over here, y is equal to negative 3, which will be over here. So mark this point, first one. Next, when x is equal to 1, y is negative 1. So x is 1, y is negative 1, which will be here. Next we have x negative 1 and y is negative 5, which means x is negative 1 is here, y is negative 5, which is over here. Okay. So we just need to plot 3 points. Now that we have done that, let's draw a line passing through those 3 points. Remember, the line should be a straight line passing through the 3 points like this. We'll write the equation of the line after we have drawn the second line. So let's look at the points for the second line. When x is equal to 2, y is 1. So x is equal to 2, y is 1, which is out here. Next, when x is 7, y is negative 1. So when x is 7, y is negative 1 over here. And when x is negative 3, which is over here, y is positive 3. So right over here, draw these points. Once again, the line, it has to be a straight line passing through the 3 points. So let's see how it goes through. Sorry. Now we'll write the equation of the lines. So for the first one was 2x minus y equal to 3. 2x minus y equal to 3. And this line is 2x plus 5y equal to 9. Okay. Now these two lines intersect at this particular point, which is on x-axis it is 2, on y-axis it is 1. So this point is 2 comma 1. That is our intersection point. And this graph I had already pre-drawn the layout of this. I had taken the scale on x-axis, I marked it as 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit, and similarly on the y-axis it was 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit. I marked this as x-axis, marked this as y-axis, and I mentioned the scale over here. And I had taken on either x and y-axis up to 7, so either positive 7 or negative 7 in either axis cases. So our point of intersection is 2 comma 1. Coming to question 2a, it says select and write the most appropriate alternative from those provided in the bracket. 1 mark for this question. The problem is the quadratic polynomial whose sum of the zeros is 5 and the product of the zeros is minus 4 is dash. We need to find the sum, the quadratic polynomial. We have been given the sum of the zeros is 5. So how do we get sum of the zeros? Alpha plus beta equal to minus b upon a. We have been given alpha plus beta, which is 5, and this is equal to minus b upon a. So we can take, since this is 5, we can take 5 upon 1, and the product, which is alpha into beta c upon a. Alpha into beta is given as minus 4 equal to c upon a, so that we can take as minus 4 upon 1. From here we can easily find out that a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 5, and c is equal to minus 4. And using this in the general form of quadratic polynomial, we can easily find out. So since the coefficient of x square is 1, we write this as x square. Coefficient of b is minus 5, so that is minus 5x and minus 4. This will be our polynomial. We will see which one is that. So x square minus 5x minus 4, that comes to this is our answer, D, that is x square minus 5x minus 4. That is for 1 mark. Question 2b says attempt the following. It has 2 problems. We'll try solve the first one. Write the zeros of the polynomial x square minus x minus 12. If we split the middle term, we should be able to get the zeros. X square minus x minus 12 can be split into x square minus 4x plus 3x minus 12. Take common, we'll get x into x minus 4 plus 3 x minus 4. It will be x plus 3 into x minus 4, and the zeros are then x equal to minus 3 or x equal to 4. So these are the 2 zeros of the polynomial, and this has got just 1 mark to find the zeros of the. So you can say that for zeros of the polynomial are minus 3 and 4. Question 2b, second problem is in triangle PQR, angle PSR is equal to 90 degrees. Prove that PQ square, which is this one, plus RS square here is equal to PR square plus SQ square. So well, looks complicated, and look, they are all over the place, whatever has been given over here. How do we actually come to this will be the first question. It looks quite confusing. Well, not to confuse, you have to see where exactly, what are they asking, and where exactly do these sides fall. PQ square is this one. Then RS square is over here. I'll mark it separately. PR square is where over here. I'll mark it this way. And SQ square is here. The reason why I mark them separately, if you notice, there's a doubles, 2 lines for both these and single line. Doesn't mean that they are equal. It just marked that way to show that this side and this side belong to one triangle here. There are 3 triangles that I can see. This one, 1, 2, and the big triangle that includes both these triangles. And these 2 sides belong to this triangle. and these two sides belong to this triangle, and that involves squares. It involves squares. And one more thing that I've noticed is they have given that PS is perpendicular to this entire QR, which means that we can use the Pythagoras theorem, and only in Pythagoras theorem we use the squares of the sides. Okay, so let's try and use that and see where do we reach a solution. And I'll begin in triangle PSQ. Okay, you can say since this is the right angle is formed right here, that means the side opposite to that should become the hypotenuse. That means PQ square. PQ square is equal to PS square plus QS square, or rather, as we need it, SQ square, I'll put it. And this is by Pythagoras theorem. So put this as 1. Similarly, in triangle, now I'll take the other triangle, PSR. We have now here the right angle is formed, that is at angle RSP or PSR. The side opposite to that is PR. So we'll put PR square becomes our hypotenuse, is equal, PR square is equal to PS square plus you can say SR or RS square. This will be by Pythagoras theorem, right? And we'll put this as 2. Next what I'll do is I'll say 1 minus 2. Okay, 1 minus 2. So which means PQ square minus PR square will be equal to PS square plus SQ square minus PS square minus RS square. Okay, so this entire thing is made negative, and whatever is on the left hand side of the equal to sign, I've kept it on the left hand side in the form of PQ square minus PR square, and whatever was on the right hand side of the equal to side, I've kept it on the right hand square. So PS square plus SQ square is positive, and this entire term becomes negative. So positive PS square becomes negative PS square, and positive RS square becomes negative RS square, because we have said 1 minus 2. Now continuing further, I keep this as the same, PQ square minus PR square, a PS square minus PS square. So these two will get cancelled, and we are left with SQ square minus RS square. Now we don't need the negative sign at all, so I'll just switch positions so that everything becomes positive. What I mean to say is, I'll bring this side, that is PR square, I'll bring it on the right hand side, it will become positive, and negative RS square I will bring it on the left hand side. So I'll solve the remaining proof here. When we switch sides, we get PQ square plus RS square equal to SQ square plus PR square, right? And if you notice, that is exactly what we have to prove. PQ square plus RS square equal to PR square plus SQ square. We proved just the same, hence proved. Okay, so it wasn't difficult. There's another way you can do it. Instead of, if you don't want to do it 1 minus 2, you can take everything equal to PS square and take SQ square on the left hand side, and since both the equations will be equal to PS square, you can say that those two equations are equal to each other, and you will get this. You will come from there, you will come here, this step, wherein PQ square minus SQ square will be equal to PR square minus RS square, and finally you will get, after switching sides, this is what you will get. So this is an easy proof and 2 marks for that, not much working in this. Question 2c says if minus 2 and 3 are two zeros of the polynomial x cube minus 6x square minus x plus 30, find its other zero. 3 marks for it. Let us find. So if minus 2 and 3 are given two zeros, that means you can say minus 2 and 3 are two zeros of the given polynomial. Therefore, we need to now find the equation that gave us these two zeros. So this would be x plus 2 into x minus 3, and if we multiply into this bracket, these two brackets, we will get x square, or rather if we multiply x into x minus 3 plus 2 into x minus 3, we will get x into x, we will get x square minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. That leaves us with x square minus 3x plus 2x gives us minus x minus 6. So this is the equation, and now what we need to do, this equation will become our g of x and this will be our p of x. When we divide the equations, we should when we divide this equation with this particular quadratic polynomial, we should be able to get the other zeros. So let us find the other zeros. X square minus x minus 6 is our g of x, and p of x is x cube minus 6x square minus x plus 30. So put an x over here, this will be x cube minus x into x will give us minus x square, minus 6 into x will give us minus 6x. We change the signs throughout. X cube cancels, minus 6x square plus 6 plus x square gives us minus 5x square, minus x plus 6x will give us plus 5x. We bring this 30 down. Now x square, that means we need only minus 5 out here, and x square into minus 5 will give minus 5x square, minus x into minus 5 gives us minus 6 into minus 5 will give positive 30. We take the change the signs throughout. This will be positive and negative. Everything cancels out, and finally we get our other zero. So you can say therefore x cube minus 6x square minus x plus 30 is equal to g of x, which was x square minus x minus 6 into, or rather we can put it in the form of the zeros, which were x plus 2 into x minus 3, x plus 2 into x minus 3 into x minus 5. So the other zero, okay, only one zero is there, one more zero, that means 3 zeros for this. That means that final zero is x minus 5. So you can see therefore the other zero of the given polynomial, this is a cubic polynomial that was given, is x minus 5. That solves our problem for 3 marks. Question 2D, the final question of this paper, which is for 3 marks, okay, is our basic proportionality theorem, which is asked. The figure has been given. We are informed that triangle ABC points D and E are on the sides AB and AC respectively, such that D is parallel to BC, DN is perpendicular to AC, and EM is perpendicular to AB. We are asked to prove AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. So we will use the basic proportionality theorem to do. So beginning with two triangles, so beginning with the solution, we first take area of triangle ADE upon area of triangle DE, triangle DEB. Area of triangle formula is half base into height. So half the base will be AD and the height is of course the perpendicular EM. Whole thing upon, again half base into height, the base is DB and the height is of course EM. EM cancels and half cancels. So we are left with AD upon DB. Use that 2. Next we take area of triangle on the other side now. Same thing, ADE, but on the other side. That is using the perpendicular ND or DN. So half base will be AE and height will be DN. Whole thing upon area of triangle DEC. Half into base will be EC into height will be DN. DN cancels, half and half cancel. We are left with AE upon EC. I will mark this as 2. Now we can say that, continue here, that since triangle DB and triangle DEC lie between two parallel lines, that is DE and BC, and on the same base, that is DE. Therefore, area of triangle DEB is equal to area of triangle DEC. Mark this as 3. Now we can take from 1, 2 and 3. So from 1, 2 and 3, what do we get? We get AD upon DP is equal to AE upon EC, hence proved. This is our basic proportionality theorem. It will be solved in one of our videos. The video is exclusively on basic proportionality theorem. If you wish to see in details how we have gone through and solved this basic proportionality theorem and other theorems on triangles, please go through the triangle chapter for class 10. Okay, so with this we complete this paper. This last question was for 3 marks. If you have any difficulties, then you can always comment in the box below. But I feel this is an easy paper that came for class 10, St. Anthony's High School, Montigiri, for their midterm exam, November-December 2020, for 20 marks. So if you like watching this video, please click the like button, share it with your friends and classmates. Please subscribe to the channel and do not forget to click on the bell icon to receive updates whenever a new video is posted. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.